Test. Okay. We're in. We are good. Woo! Sorry about that, y'all. Had some technical difficulties. Computer decided to restart. Of course, best timing ever for that. How are we doing this morning? Yeah? Yeah, we excited for another Creative Mornings?
Yes, sir.
Good. For those, let's get a show of hands. Who's is their first Creative Mornings? Awesome. Welcome. Good deal. Well, I'm Michael. I am the local chapter host here for Creative Mornings Columbia. It's Creative Mornings Columbia because Creative Mornings is actually a global organization. There's 248 chapters across the world, which we'll kind of get into in a little bit more detail in a minute. But Creative Mornings is basically a monthly speaker series that is centered around a global theme. So each month there is a theme, and there's some cool artwork that goes along with that theme that is chosen by one of the local chapters. In fact, we have been chosen to provide a theme for next year. So, yeah, super exciting. We'll have a local artist that will create something akin to this piece here that will be seen by all 248 chapters all over the world. So, super cool. More details on that to come. But this month's theme is Mentor. I didn't turn the music off. That's a good idea. Do that. Technology. This month's theme is Mentor. It was chosen by the Glasgow chapter in Scotland. So again, global organization. Molly Hankinson did this artwork. So let's give it up for Molly. Yeah. Awesome stuff. So, Mentor. No one is born with all the knowledge and skills they'll need to thrive in life. So ask for help. We all could use a guide as we climb. Find your mentors and be a mentor in return. Your plans for growth are more likely to succeed if they include lifting others up as you rise. So 2 messages there. Be a mentor and look for mentors. One great way to find mentors is through our little skill swap in the back. We'll have time afterwards for you all to go check that out, but there's already a ton of people that have thrown out skills they're happy to help with, and there's also another board where you put the skills you want help with, and hopefully a little matchmaking happens. But yeah, our theme is Mentor, and so with each theme and with each Creative Mornings, I make us do a little icebreaker. I feel like this group has already done quite a bit of mingling, but we're gonna do a little bit more. We're gonna act like y'all haven't talked to each other at all, and we're gonna do a classic icebreaker. And so this one's pretty easy, right? Tell us about a mentor of yours. And yeah, I'm looking for stories here, looking for memorable moments, little catchphrases maybe, little things that have kind of helped you along your way. And so I'm gonna start. One big mentor of mine, and I'm not going for the crowd appeal here, but my grandma is a big mentor of mine. She just taught me a lot about life, and she just is always like, it's all good, it's all gonna work out, it's all gonna be okay, and that's just what comes with, I guess that's the wisdom speaking. And so I always, whenever I'm stressed or probably overthinking things, I channel her, and she helps me get through. So that's a mentor of mine. Love to hear about some of your own mentors. No mentors.
Well, my older sibling, we've had an up and down sibling relationship, as you do. But they're a bike fitter in Brooklyn, and one piece of advice that they gave me that I've never forgotten, and so you guys can now take this if it speaks to you, is don't wait to do the things you want to do until you have people to do them with. So kind of the idea that you show up to you want to be creative. My friends aren't creative. Okay, so then go to the place where the creative people are by yourself and meet the people who are doing the things that you want to do. So
Yes.
I think that's really been kind guide for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, taking action, taking that first step, putting yourself out there for sure. I consider coming to Creative Mornings as a good opportunity to put yourself out there.
Yes.
Because we're an engaging bunch. We like to talk, even though it's Friday morning. Let's get another. Who else has a mentor? Thank you, by the way. Mentors? Is anyone a mentor? That's kind of weird. If somebody wants to talk about it, go ahead. Any mentors? Here we go. Josh.
Yeah. So in high school, I had a teacher who he really got me into all things cameras and AV, and I now kind of do that for a living. And so really learning from him, he was super serious, super stern, super strict for so many years. And then in my senior year of high school, I started helping him with some other projects. And all of a sudden his silliness just kind of bloomed. And so from such rigidness of you have to do it this way, it has to be like this. For so many years, suddenly he was just like, oh hey, let's be really silly.
Yeah.
And so it's I always kind of think of him of it is that kind of that tension and that balance of there is seriousness of things need to get done, but then it's also don't forget to be silly, don't forget to laugh, don't forget to actually have fun in whatever the creative thing you're doing.
Right. Yeah, I think probably not alone here. And sometimes you can lose sight of that, the fun piece. That's what life is actually about. Because it is easy to get into the seriousness of it, and and you want to succeed and you want to do a good job. But you gotta have fun while you're doing it. Otherwise, what's the point? Awesome, good deal. Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Claire. All right. Like I said, 248 chapters across 70 countries, 15 million video views. We just uploaded videos from our past few speakers. You can find those on the Creative Mornings YouTube, but also if you just go to our chapter page on CreativeMornings.com, they're also there as well. Highly recommend you check those out. And we aren't alone today in meeting. Actually, there are folks meeting all over the world right now talking about mentorship, including, it's kind of hard to see, but here we are, right in the middle here. Woo! Oh yeah! Our Kansas City friends are the second ones up there, Megan Stevens. So they're literally meeting right now, doing the same exact thing. We got San Francisco, we got Phoenix, Dallas, and then a few more here. And so Creative Mornings community is massive and always changing and always looking to grow. One area where we've really grown is with our global sponsor, Adobe. So Adobe kind of keeps this whole thing going with HQ, but then also helping out at the local level. Can't thank them enough for their global sponsorship. There is actually a really good tie-in to mentorship. I was actually reading this the other night. They have basically it's essentially a book that kind of looks like a blog post on mentorship and why every creative needs a mentor. Highly recommend checking this out. Super applicable for our monthly theme, but always I don't know, this time kind of like a good year, halfway through the year, kind of check in with yourself, see what you need to do, see what kind of activity you need to take, kind of to Claire's point earlier. So I highly recommend checking out this article. It should be linked in the next newsletter that we sent out, which if you RSVP'd or if you're signed up for our newsletter, you'll get a link to that. But you can also probably just Google it as well. We also have some local sponsors I want to thank. So if you enjoyed coffee and donuts today, you have Kincannon Plastic Surgery. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. And then also where we're at right now, Serendipity. Serendipity, if a lot of people I've talked to since we've had events here have never seen this little cute shop here. It's very dangerous. A lot of great stuff in there, but it's also in our gallery, as you can see here. Elizabeth has been very open and welcoming to us over the years, and they've also started this great market this year on Sundays. So if you miss the farmers market on Saturday, or even if you make it to the farmers market on Saturday, stop by the Serendipity Market on Sundays from 10 to 2. Usually they're set up right outside here, but I assume if they have inclement weather, it'll be inside. But nonetheless, 10 to 2. Come out and enjoy. There's usually like a lot of vendors, a lot of different food options. So yeah, highly recommend you come and check out the market. A few just general announcements. We do have great sponsors, but we're always looking for more. So if you know somebody that would be interested in sponsoring or interested in sponsoring yourself, it's a great way to get the word out. We have like 400 newsletter subscribers, and so you get in front of them multiple times a month. Not to mention time during our monthly events as well. We're also looking for more organizers. So if you come to a few Creative Mornings events and you've enjoyed yourself and you want to get more involved, we are looking for people to help with all things from social media to just sort of admin stuff to like just being part of like the day of, helping set up and everything. As you all saw, I had some IT troubles over here. So somebody that could just, own this would be great. We've had a few of our organizers move on. If you were here last month, a few of them actually like their personal businesses are kind of taking off, and so they just need to really dedicate time to that. And so if you're trying to do that, maybe you need to join Creative Mornings, so then it could work. So highly recommend if you're looking to get more involved. Just a great way to meet people, and I mean honestly, just a great thing to add to your resume. Speaking of, I am moving on from chapter host, which is bittersweet. My wife and I are having our first child in November, which we're super excited about. But I'm told that could be a little time consuming, and you don't really get a lot of sleep, and your schedule gets a little unpredictable. So yeah, I've decided to step away. This is actually my 2-year anniversary of taking over Creative Mornings Columbia. So again, super bittersweet, but I'm so excited for the next chapter host and what they bring to the table. If you're interested in possibly being a host, this has been a super great opportunity for me just to get to meet people, or if you're like me and you just like attention, also a great way to get that outlet and not force that on your loved ones. Check it out. Even better, if you want to just like recommend people that sound like me, you can email Columbia@creativemornings.com. All right, so last thing before we get going, because we're already behind because of my technical difficulties, our Creative Mornings Manifesto. So for those of you that is your first Creative Mornings, we read our manifesto right before our speaker comes on, just to kind of get in the groove of things. And so I need a volunteer to read this. I understand it might be a little hard to read, so if you need to come up and read it, cool. But yeah, I need a volunteer. Who's gonna help me? Who's got it? This table's got it. Somebody. This table's got it. It's your first time.
Yeah, do it.
You got it? I believe in you.
Everyone is creative. A creative life requires bravery and action, honesty and hard work. We are here to support you, celebrate with you, and encourage you to make the things you love. We believe in the power of community. We believe in giving a damn. We believe in face-to-face connections and learning from others in hugs and high fives. We bring together people who are driven by passion and purpose, confident that they will inspire one another and inspire change in neighborhoods and cities around the world. Everyone is welcome.
Yeah. Give it up for Alana. Yeah. First time here, sitting in the front row. Killed it. Awesome. Okay, now, the moment we've been waiting for, I am done. I would like to invite up our organizer, Lauren, to introduce our speaker today.
Today, we are incredibly honored to introduce the brilliant minds behind Raw Roots Turmeric. Their story captures the spirit of mentorship, both in their personal journeys and in the very essence of their business. Ranjana's deep connection to medicinal herbs began in her childhood in India. This early education, combined with her dedication to self-study and experimentation after moving to the US, became her guide in understanding the profound impact of natural remedies. When a personal health transformation inspired her, she realized her own experiences could serve as a mentor to others, showing them a powerful way to integrate wellness into their lives. She's taken her personal discoveries and crafted accessible, delicious products, mentoring us all on how to harness the ancient wisdom of turmeric and other herbs for modern well-being. Complementing Ranjana's passion is Dr. Chetan Hans. With a PhD in biochemistry and 25 years of research into inflammation, Dr. Hans brings a scientific mentorship to their endeavor. His expertise provides a vital framework, while his own experience with Ayurvedic herbs and farming guides their product development and mission. Together, they are sharing knowledge and experience, truly mentoring us towards a healthier lifestyle. Join us in welcoming Ranjana and Dr. Chetan Hans.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Creative Morning Columbia. When I got an email a month ago from Lauren that there's a chapter here in Columbia, would you like to come? And we were so excited, Chetan and I, that I will come here and share our knowledge with all of you. So thank you so much. Here I'll give this to Chetan now.
Yeah, so thank you so much for having us. As Lauren told, she is expert in Ayurvedic lifestyle, we call it, which includes obviously us, but it goes beyond that. And I've been working for various universities at various levels, doing my research in inflammation and the stuff. Two things I think, as this is the theme of this today's talk is about mentorship. I remember I was thinking about, how I can relate to that. I've been in mentees, of course, situation, and also as a mentor. When I was a mentee, long back, applying for various grants, and then I, of course, as a part of our regular system, we have to have mentors. What mentors they bring to you is something which you want to learn, but you don't have those skills. But there's one thing which I learned, that your mentor, if he or she is really a mentor, they bring the best out of you by any means. So the incident which happened with me was I applied for NIH grant as a part of my professorship. And then, of course, I got a good score, but it was not there. And then I started working on it again for resubmission. And then at that time, my mentor, I had few mentors, and we had a close, indoor meeting, and they were telling me, "Hey, Chetan, you did fantastic, this, that, and you do this, and all that thing." But there's one mentor, her name is Pamela Casey. She been my mentor for last 20-25 years. I mean, till today, I think I've been in contact with her. And she said, "Hey, this is not going to work out." So she said, 8 o'clock on maybe Monday morning, let's meet together again, only like maybe 3 or 4, maybe 3 mentors and me. And literally she made me cry by going through words and words, and literally roasted me like anything. Literally. And guess what? I resubmitted the grant, I got it. All credit goes to her. So they bring the best out of you. They know what you can learn, how you can learn, and that's what I think the one thing which I learned through my career. And of course, the technique I learned, I applied to my students. They were not very happy about it. The other thing is I noticed on that sheet, right now we have that mentor and mentee relationship. I know somebody from you, they want to learn more about this alternative nose breathing exercise. I don't know who that person is, but we have Ranjana over here. I think she knows really quite good about it. How do we do that? Why we do that? What's the various techniques and how it can help? Of course, with the stress, anxiety, but it goes beyond that. So that's very important. If you can learn about alternative nose breathing, she knows really quite a bit about it. I can tell you because I had that issue a few weeks back, and she helped me that. The second thing is somebody wrote on that Sarah, I don't know, that she has a knowledge about plants and how to take care of that, and we are there as a mentee. We can definitely take that help. So this is how we build that relationship of mentors and mentees, help each other, bringing the best out of you and bringing the best out of others. Anyways, we can talk more and more about it, but let's get back to the topic. We are here for Ayurvedic herbs for good health. As some of you may know, that's what we do. We started with a passion, but now we are doing it as a profession. Okay, so I think we are going to cover, I don't know, some of these, maybe you might see it, but we are going to cover different topics, starting with inflammation, what is good health, Ayurvedic principles, Ayurvedic herbs, and of course, if we have time, we'll talk about dosha, which is a key what's called center element or center what's called figure in Ayurvedic lifestyle. And then, of course, we'll talk a little bit about how we put these different herbs together for better health. The reason I chose inflammation as a what's called tool to know what Ayurveda is and what these Ayurvedic herbs are. I'm sure you have come across this term. You know what inflammation. You might have heard about it. Hey, I have inflammation. My body is aching. I have swelling. So the key thing which I learned, and not only me, but this is basically a medical dictionary definition, that inflammation is a normal part of body's response to any kind of external stimuli. So the key word over here is a normal response. Inflammation is not a cause of the disease, it's an effect of some underlying disease. If we can understand that in a little bit more broader way, then I think the way we deal with inflammation will be much better. Again, the grant I was talking about, and it's in fact you can go to Google or scientific journal, you can find about it. The grant I wrote was we should not be inhibiting inflammation. In fact, we should not be when I say we should not be inhibiting, we should not be targeting inflammation. We should be going to the root cause, and inflammation should subside, should decrease by itself, rather than retargeting inflammation. So that's a key thing which I wanted to stress upon, because it's a normal response. It's something telling us something bigger and something worse is happening somewhere in another part of the body. And if we keep on just fixing that inflammation, which is a visible what's called inflammation or visible aspect, then we'll be ignoring that root cause. And that root cause, if we keep on ignoring that may be becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, and ultimately that's where the inflammation becomes more of a cause than effect. And then, of course, everything worsens, and it's all that cascade, of bad system. So that's the key thing. And then, of course, we'll talk about how do we target inflammation in Ayurveda. Again, same thing which I wrote, inflammation occurs when body releases some chemicals. Those chemicals we call inflammation, but chemicals are not causing the disease. Disease is caused by somewhere else in the gut and all. Does that make any sense? Perfect. Okay, before we go further, let's talk about good health. I'm sure everybody knows about it. Hey, I'm in a good what's called, my health is, I don't have any, my sugar levels are normal, my what's called kidney levels, urea and all those enzymes in the liver and heart, they are okay. But in Ayurveda, again, I think I will talk about Ayurveda in details, but in Ayurveda we define good health as a little bit more than that. It's a state of physical, mental, and social well-being. So it's not just I don't have any disease, so I'm healthy. But you have to feel something beyond that. Are you in a good state of your mind, physically, socially, mentally, even financially? That's all part of good health, because we are affected by any change in those things. Why we need good health? Of course, because we want to live a full life. But full life doesn't mean, hey, we live 80 years, 90 years, maybe 100 years, but we have tons of diseases. That's not how we define a good life. Good life means we live a quality life. Even we are living for 60, 70, 80. I mean, that's important. We should live as long as we can. But the quality of life is more important. We remain healthy. We remain, not dependent upon all those, chemicals or all those, what's called ambulatory things. We remain healthy and socially active. That's how we define. That's why we need good health. And then how we can attain that? Of course, by eating good food. Doing regular exercises, and of course the rest is equal part of what's called important aspect of having a good life. We need to have exercise, but we need to have rest also. The balance is a key thing when we talk about good life. Makes sense, right? And then again, when we do all these things, that reduces our risk of diseases or conditions or anything bad. But the sad thing is, even if we do all those things, we eat good food, we regularly exercise, we take rest also, things do go wrong. That could be because of change in the season, we know that what happened in 2020, COVID came, that was not because of I was not eating good food, but that came some external, right? So things do happen, things go wrong. But then our body is equipped with all those good nutritional elements we have in our food, in our daily exercises, then rest assured that we will be either will not get the disease, or even if we get it, we'll be able to target it, we'll be able to get back to a normal life in a little bit quicker. Makes sense, right? So, but when we do get disease or we do get some kind of illness, we seek medical treatment, right? That medical treatment could be either, of course, we have a various systems of healing. Of course, physical. Of course, we have Ayurveda. We have allopathy. There are many of these medical treatments available. Choices we have, what we can, they can help us getting back to our normal life. Now, I think the key thing which I've been using a lot in my talk, and I think Ranjana also mentioned that word, Ayurveda. Have you heard about this word, Ayurveda? So Ayurveda is an ancient way of, again, healing, you call it, or way of living, or way of happy life, healthy life. It's derived from two words, Sanskrit. This is an ancient Indian language, Ayur and Veda. So those two words, when you combine together, becomes Ayurveda. And these words are, I don't know, I have a pointer here. Ayur means life, and Veda means a knowledge. Life, knowledge. So knowledge about life. And when we are talking about life, we are not just talking about nutrition. We are not talking just about Ayurvedic us. We are talking about everything which happens to us from from head to toe, from our life, date of birth to the death. So everything which happens, all these different aspects, they are included in Ayurveda, which means that it's such a vast topic, such a broad, such a comprehensive, what's called, way or system, which if we know a little bit even about it, we can have, rest assured, a good, happy life. Make sense? And when we talk about the disease, I can just read this definition. Whenever there is any issue in our body, it's caused by imbalance in our consciousness, imbalance in something in our body which causes some kind of derangement that is reflected in terms of any condition, sickness, illness, or disease. So this is my favorite slide. I don't know whether you can you see the slide? Is it visible enough for you guys? This picture is my favorite picture because this goes back to a very traditional folk story in India, where I think 5 or 6 blind men, they came across a big giant elephant, and everybody, all those blind men, the part of the body they touched, they started interpreting elephant that way. Like somebody was touching his tail, they thought it's a rope. About ear, they thought it's a fan. So that's how we, when we just look at only one thing, we start ignoring others. Then this is how we define. But in Ayurveda, this is not how we define it. We want to look at the comprehensive picture. Even if it's an ear infection, even there's something wrong with the UTI, even there's something wrong with, let's say, your fungal toe infection. They are all related. They are all the issue or derangement or the imbalance could be somewhere else. And we should not be ignoring that. Again, coming back to that inflammation, the definition, we should be going or finding the root cause, why this is happening. And if we take care of the root cause, then not only we are healing that particular condition or sickness, but we are healing the whole body. Make sense? So that's Ayurveda is all about. I think I have talked enough about Ayurveda, but at this point I'll ask Ranjana to take us through these remaining slides. Is that okay? Do you have any questions so far, or any query or any comment what we discussed so far? Yes, please.
Well, so going back to the inflammation piece, basically, like that's a signal of other underlying issues potentially.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, if we have a time, when we are done with, I know that we have a limited time, but I can talk more about it. How in a medical treatment or in Ayurveda, I can talk more about it. I'll come back to that. Okay? If we have time. Okay.
So, Ayurvedic principles for daily life. This is, something that I'm sure we all know that. It's just a reminder to ourselves, are we doing it every day? And when we do these things every day, we definitely see the results. We may not see this right away, but we will see the results later. So, entire universe is composed of 5 elements: air, water, space, earth, and fire. Is everybody agree to that? Yes. And we can talk about it, where are they exist. Outside we all know, but where are they in our body? Okay? Connected to our people, our surroundings, environment, and to the universe. We all know that. Deep breathing for gratitude, which is my favorite. Deep breathing is so important part of my daily life, because we all do, we forget, because we all do shallow breathing, which is okay, but we have to go to the navel. We have to breathe from here, and we have to pay attention. Are we getting the breathe from here? If we are not, we have to bring back the attention here. It takes a little bit of practice to do that, but it's not hard to do. It's just a reminder every day to do those things. And see the sunrise and be thankful. We all know that. So we just have to remind ourselves we have to see the sunrise every day. Drinking turmeric and lemon to detoxify, which is my all-time favorite. How to start our day every morning. We all drink water every morning, right? As soon as we get up, we want to drink something, right? So we just drink warm cup of water or normal temperature cup of water. But if we add a little bit turmeric to that, we can see the change, like how the body is moving day to day, how our mental clarity is, how we feel every day, full of energy. It's just a small practice makes a huge difference. And walk barefoot on the grass, morning dew. I do that, and it's so helpful in so many ways. Well, Ayurveda says that it's very helpful in your eyes. The dew is very helpful, and your eye gets. Even though I wear glasses, but my number is low because I do this practice. So this is So important, so that we can just not to hold these glasses like me all the time. And eat fruits empty stomach, we all know that. So why empty stomach? Because fruits and vegetables takes less time to digest versus any other food. So there are more details to that, we are just doing overview right now. So breakfast and lunch, but lunch is ideally eaten between noon and 2 p.m. We all know that, but why is noon and 2 p.m.? Why cannot we eat little later and why cannot we do earlier? Why? Because when the sun is on the peak, that time our body digestive fire, which is right here, sitting here, we all have it, that is also on the peak here. Which means if we want to eat like heavy, whatever food, we all want to eat, you can eat light food, heavy food, whatever, is all our choices every single day. But let's say we want to fulfill ourselves and we want to eat some heavy food, let's say pasta, pizza, those kind of heavy food takes time, beans, they takes a very long time to digest. At that time when the sun is on the peak, the fire is on the peak, means we eat at that time, the food digestion is just right there. It's gonna take less time, it just start digesting the food so quickly. That's why the outside whatever is happening is exactly happening inside our body too. So that's why this is a very good time to eat lunch, and pitta in our body is at the peak. So we will talk about it. There are 3 imbalance in the body. That's as per Ayurveda. There are 3 part of that. What is called vata, pitta, and kapha, and we'll talk about that. So pitta means the fire in our body. That is, fire is on the peak. It means that is a good time to eat. Drink warm water. Why drink warm water? Ayurveda says, do not drink cold water. And why is that? Because what is our body temperature? Is our body cold inside? If cold, then we're gone. Right? So when the body have a warm temperature, so why we are putting the cold ice water in the body? So it doesn't match. But if we are very thirsty and we want to drink something cold, okay, then there is another cheat in Ayurveda, it's called cheat sheet. If you really want to do that way, because you cannot drink warm water, you cannot drink normal temperature water. If you want to drink cold water, you can do that, but it has to be a sip water, so that when the water goes in your mouth and it sits for 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds in your mouth, temperature goes down, then you swallow it. So Ayurveda says, don't gulp water, don't drink water, eat water, chew water. Drinking water immediately before food reduces the digestion. Does that make sense? Yes? And then, see, the last one I cannot read, but I know it says that do not drink the water with the food or right after the food. So with the food water, if we are eating food, so digestive fire right here is working here, right? And then I'm eating food, digestive fire is on, food is going to digest well, but then I put some water, especially cold water. Ice cold water goes with my food. What will happen to the fire? Fire is going to go down. And what will happen? The food will just come and sit here. It will just sit here because there is no fire right now. And no fire, then I will say my food is not digesting well. I feel burping, I feel indigestion, I feel acidity, I feel all that problem, bloating. Why? Because I didn't let the food really work here. So basically this is all about, it says the dinner should be, light, because when the sun is setting, we all know, dinner, we should not be eating heavy dinner. There should be 3 or 4 hours before we go to sleep. But there's a reason behind it why we do that. Because when the sun is going to go down, then our digestive fire is also low at that time. If we eat any heavy food, it will be very hard for the stomach to digest the food. So whatever food we are eating, it has to be either if we can do before sun goes down, then we can eat whatever food we want, but we have to be very careful, extra careful, especially in the evening time, what we are eating, and it has to be light food. And there should be 3 to 4 hours before we go to sleep. Warm milk with turmeric before bedtime is very helpful. Start your day with turmeric, end your day with turmeric. How that sound like? So turmeric is a very important part of our life. That's why we pick turmeric. Turmeric is so important. Ancient wisdom is, I remember my grandparents, my parents ourselves, before go to bed, golden milk. What is golden milk? A cup of warm milk and little bit of turmeric into that. And what it does, we can go to sleep really calmly after that. Warm ashwagandha drink. So if everybody knows ashwagandha is another herb. Has anybody heard the name? Okay. So ashwagandha is another very important Ayurvedic herbs, and we call the king of Ayurvedic herbs. So that's how high respect that ashwagandha herb has. So what it does, it's an adaptogen, and then it's really helpful. It's a nightshade family plant. It's really, really helpful in the night time. People take ashwagandha supplements nowadays, you can find on the stores, but we grow fresh ashwagandha here in our farm. It's very helpful for anxiety, depression, sleeping trouble, and those kind of things. And also, since it's an adaptogen, so you can drink in the night time. I also say like you can do in the morning too. But night time is the best time to consume ashwagandha. And how to use, either you can drink little bit in your water or you can put in your milk, either or. And balanced choices that promote the spiritual aspect of health. We all know these things. Ayurvedic rules for healthy digestion. Chew the food 32 times. Do we all do that? No, we don't. Sometimes we are in rush, so we just try to do it fast. If we can chew as much as possible, so the stomach has to work really less. If we eat food really fast, and then stomach has to work really hard to digest the food, then have you ever noticed, like when we eat food, we feel sleepy, we want to take nap after that. Why is that? So all the energy goes here. So mind said sleep, let it be work here so that we can digest the food here, we have to work here. See, energy has to go more here at that time after the food. That's why that's what these 32 teeth that we have, that's why we have those, but we forget about those. So Ayurvedic wisdom and ancient wisdom is all talking about what we know. This is nothing new here, but it's just a reminder to ourselves every day. Pay 100% attention to the food while eating. See, this is I'm not saying struggle, but I remind my children all the time this. Please pay attention to the food. Why? Because if I have a phone in my hand, one hand in the phone, one hand to the food. Food takes 10 to 15 minutes it's only 10-15 minutes task to finish the food. Right? So 10-15 minutes we can put the phone away. But these practices, I promise you, I can open my heart and tell you these small things help a lot in our overall health improvement. Overall. You will see how you start practicing today, and 1 week later, we can talk again, and then I want to hear from you, like, what do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? And don't eat when you are stressed out. God. Even don't cook. I put here don't eat, but even don't cook when we are stressed out. We all made up with the energy. We are transmitting all our, if we are upset, that means some negative energy somewhere in the mind, right? If we are cooking the food or we are eating the food, it's not beneficial to our body. If we are cooking the food with not a good mind state, then we are transmitting all our energy to the food while we are just making the food. So we can avoid that. Eat regular meals on the same time, which is really good for the digestive fire. Eat local, we all know that. Take a walk after 15 to 20 minutes after a meal. 8 hours of sleep, we know that. Try yoga nidra, deep relaxation practice. How many people know yoga nidra? Is that the name familiar? Yes. So there are a lot of videos on the YouTube, yoga nidra meditation. You can see that, but I can tell you briefly what that is yoga nidra is so morning wake up time and the just before bedtime is a very two important times of our life. Night time when we are just ready to go to sleep, yoga nidra means just is a yog means yog, nidra means time to go to sleep, about to go to sleep. That time we just pay attention to every part of our body. Where in our mind, but there are a lot of meditation videos and sounds that we can find it and that we can turn that on, and sometimes people make their own videos in their own voice and they put in the phone and then they sleep with that. Sometimes no phone, nothing, just when you just pay attention in your mind, like you pay attention to your feet. Because the feet, we walk every day, we want to thank to our feet. I'm standing there, and it's helping me standing. I stand to the farmer's market 4 or 5 hours every day. I have to thank that. I work in my farm for that many hours. If my feet are helping me, then only I can do that, right? So I have to thank all our organs. That is what it's all about. And practice mindful eating, which I said before too, so that is very, very important. Ayurvedic approach to the good gut health. So good health, good gut health, digestion. So digestion is, as Chetan said, inflammation is the root cause, and it starts all from here. If the food start digesting well, we have total control in our hand of our health, 100%. So eat freshly prepared food. See, before when there was no refrigerator, I know my grandparents didn't have the refrigerator actually. They have a different kind of coolers, they will put the food in, but they are making fresh food all the time. And I didn't know at that time, like why breakfast, like they're all the time in the kitchen, doing all the food all the time. But whatever the breakfast was made, the leftover, they would not eat it. And I would say, why can't we eat the leftover? No, I know later, like why all that was, whatever the science behind it, but at that time I didn't know that. Because of the energy, when the fresh food is made, because every vegetable, every food has their own energy. When you cook that, you eat it right away, don't eat the leftover, then make fresh, because the leftover food lose the energy. That's why the little basic of that. There's more to that, but little basic of that, the food wise. Observe how we feel after we eat. Isn't that amazing? We know ourselves. If I have eaten my lunch and I'm not feeling good after that, like what did I do? I was supposed to have more energy, more good, feel more healthy after eating my food. If I'm not feeling good, it means there is something wrong I did here. So belly is the barometer of our happiness. And our gut never lies. See, there's a song there, like Shakira. Inflammation in Ayurveda.
Okay, so I think time for me to come back now. How's everybody feeling now? We are learning something new, or getting a little bit of refreshment, or which really new, but now it's more of a kind of just awakening. Okay, hey, we need to remind ourselves that what we do. Okay, so again, coming back to inflammation. So inflammation, I'm taking as again, I want to make sure you understand that I'm taking as a tool to let you understand how we target any issues in Ayurveda. Now, this is more of a scientific, what's called terminology I have used over here, that inflammation in Ayurveda is defined as a change. She used the word dosha. Have you heard about the word dosha? Anybody? Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit more details about dosha. But in Ayurveda, dosha is the key word, especially when it comes to any kind of derangement, any kind of imbalance. We say that it's because of one of your dosha. So the way we define dosha in Ayurveda is nothing but your nature. Nature. I mean, there's no synonym, there's no equivalent word for dosha in English language. But the closest word I can interpret is your nature. Nature means your response to any kind of external stimulus. And that stimulus could be environmental, that stimulus could be social, that stimulus could be physical, that stimulus could be even your surroundings, whom you are sitting with, the people, the temperature, the air, the everything, the temperature, the air, the weather, everything which affects us in any way. That's how we define dosha. There are 3 doshas in Ayurveda. She mentioned those. One is called Vata, second is Pitta, and third is Kapha. So every single human being, not even human being, every single element, not even element, the whole universe is made up of 5 elements, as she described earlier. Doshas are nothing but these set of 5 elements which are present in your body in different proportion. Make sense? So doshas are these how much content of these 5 elements you have in your body that defines your dosha. You may have all doshas, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. You may have one predominant, or you may have even 2 predominant. But that's your nature. When you are in a good physical state. But what happens during any kind of derangement, I'm taking inflammation as a tool, is that one of your doshas goes imbalance. And usually it goes high. Make sense? And that's how we define inflammation, but not only inflammation, all other diseases, all other conditions, we also define under this one particular, what's called let me go back. Okay. Yeah, and then I wrote over here, but we're going to talk a little more about it. When we do have derangements in doshas, when they go imbalance, then how we correct them, how we bring them to balance. And that balance we can bring them back either by doing some physical simple exercises, some meditations, yoga, eating some healthy food, or changing in our daily what's called routine, what we eat, how we eat, why we eat, all those having a very conscious approach to what we eat. And then, of course, using these Ayurvedic herbs. She mentioned few. Turmeric is, of course, one of them. There's ashwagandha. There are many more. Moringa, neem. I can name at least 10, 20, 30. So all these herbs, Ayurvedic herbs, are available. Some of them we grow. Some of them we can't grow here because of this temperature and weather conditions. But the combination of these Ayurvedic herbs, they can help bring back your doshas into normal level. Make sense? Okay. Is it okay if we go a little bit more? How much time I have?
Yeah, I have like 5.
Is somebody? Okay, 5 minutes. Okay. So I think we discussed about it. It's a central term in Ayurveda which determines your state of body and mind. It's not just about body. It's body and mind, what state you are in, that defines your dosha. 3 doshas we have: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And everybody has these 3 doshas in a different proportion. Make sense? When we talk about Vata, this controls our movements of the system. It's basically present in the lower abdominal region. Pitta is basically, like she stressed upon that, Pitta is all about digestive fire. So it's working your all this alimentary canal, your stomach, your intestine. That's all about your Pitta. If something goes wrong in your digestive system, it means your Pitta is imbalanced. Then we have the Kapha, which regulates your structure and strength of the body. And it's also important for your respiration, for your hydration. Okay, I think I'm not going to go too much details about it, but we can talk about it. But I think the important thing what we need to discuss is these guys over here. These herbs, which I think you guys might be a little more curious about it. Turmeric, our favorite herb. I don't know whether you can see it or not. Turmeric has been labeled as a superfood in this 21st century because of the reason, because of course it's rich in all those vitamins and minerals. It gives us daily energy, but more importantly, turmeric can regulate or control all our doshas. Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So if I'm not certain, if I'm uncertain, hey, something goes wrong, something is wrong with my system, but I don't know what it is, then rest assured that turmeric can help correcting all your three doshas. Then we have moringa. Have you heard about moringa? Moringa is one complete nutritional plant which has all the nutrition, all those vitamins, all those minerals, even proteins and fats which your body needs. And that's why this is called complete plant. Rich in vitamins, rich in sodium, potassium, all those, vitamin A, C, E, K, everything. This is good for controlling kapha and vata dosha. But again, if you eat too much of it, it can aggravate your pitta. So this is, as an Ayurvedic practitioner or Ayurvedic expert, we do have that knowledge. That's why when somebody comes to us, hey, I have this thing in my body or mind, I'm not feeling in this particular situation. And then when we know that, me or she, then we say, hey, maybe your pitta is imbalanced. Then you should be taking this and this and this up together. Then we have Ashwagandha, like she was talking about, the king of Ayurvedic herbs. Really good for anxiety, stress, relief, insomnia. Gives you utilize your energy in the way you want. That's why the term she was using, adaptogen, is something that helps you adapt and that adapts your body in a certain way that you can utilize your energy the way you want. Then we have another herb, which is Brahmi. This guy, Ashwagandha, is really good for, let me go back, Vata and Kapha, but actually the people who are Pitta predominant or they have Pitta imbalance, they are now recommended to use too much of Ashwagandha. That's how it works. For them, we have another herb called Brahmi. Brahmi is really good if your Pitta is imbalanced. So this is how these herbs they complement each other. They help each other to giving us whatever we need, which is the best of the body. There's another word, Shatavari, which is very important for females. This is equivalent for Ayurveda. Ayurveda is basically, again, both, it's not a gender, what's called specific. Anybody can take Ashwagandha, anybody can take Shatavari, but Shatavari is a female version of Ashwagandha. Then we have neem. Have you heard about neem? Neem people, they use all the time in these Western countries just for protecting their plants. It's available, neem oil is available, but neem does much more beyond that. In fact, neem is such a powerful bactericidal that, again, back in Asian countries, especially India, we use neem in everything we use. Starting from hair care, to our oral hygiene, to our face, to our skin, to our stomach. Really very powerful detoxifying agent or everything neem does. Antifungal, antibacterial, very highly respected. And neem is again a very, very important herb. Then this is actually the slide we put together. And after learning or doing literature research or just observational studies, how these herbs they help each other, they complement each other. Then what we did was at Ayurveda, at Raru Turmeric, if you want to correct your vata balance, then all these herbs stated over there, little bit of turmeric, ashwagandha, brahmi, all these herbs, they help. Their quantity is very important, how much you use to make these what's called mixture, which can help you correcting your either vata or kapha or pitta, or if you are uncertain, hey, what or maybe there are more than two your doshas are imbalanced, then it's highly recommended that you just take this Tridosha balancing shot, which can help you correcting all your doshas. I know I've been rushing through all these slides again because of time, but in case you have any questions, you're always welcome to ask us. But then these herbs, like over here with the turmeric, that's again very consciously, very scientifically we use at Raru Turmeric. Using turmeric as your main ingredient, then if you add lemon to it, like he was telling you, it becomes your morning ritual. If you put cinnamon and a little bit of milk to it, it becomes your evening ritual. If you add neem to it, it helps you cleansing your body, it helps you detoxifying your body. If you add ginger and mint to it, it becomes really, really good for your digestion, to detoxify. If you add another herb, which I have not mentioned over here, it's called triphala. If you add triphala to turmeric, it helps you combat your seasonal allergy. So all these different mixtures, different combinations, which we learned throughout our experiences, throughout our life, throughout our knowledge. That's how we do it around turmeric. And then I think I'm going to end here. Time is done. And then if you still have any questions, please ask us. If you do want to know more about your doshas, you are welcome to send us an email. Then we have a questionnaire which we have prepared at Raru Turmeric. I can share that with you, and you answer those questions, very simple questions, and then we can have some kind of guesswork. It's not it's not a diagnostic test, but it's still some kind of guesswork which helps you identify what kind of dosha you might have. And then of course visit our stall at Farmers Market if you have not, and learn more about all these Ayurvedic herbs we have. We have a website or email, or you can message us anytime or visit our farm to know more about it.
Awesome. My foot's asleep. Thank you all so much for coming. Let's give it up one more time for our speakers. We do have to start tearing everything down, but if you all mind, people may have questions for you. Again, if you, probably do it back there. Hey, sure. But if you have questions, feel free. They'll happy to help you out. Very interested in this quiz. But definitely stop by the farmers market. Check out the raw root turmeric booth. But thank you all so much for coming. Appreciate it.
I want to learn all the things. Like emailing, please all the things. I told her
Allie,